This is Dr. Jagjit Singh from DAV Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jalandhar. As a part of this FDP, today I am going to present a case study on evaluation of carbon footprint in OFS fiber optics industry. OFS is the name of the industry. These are my week 1 and week 2 video details. In week 1, I discussed CO2 emissions by life phase of a digital device, what sources are required to make a computer and microchip, mobile phones environment rucksack, our current model of consumption. And in week 2, I discussed responsible recycling of used electronics, R2, the leading standard for electronics repair and recycling, environmental risk and responsible management for the same. In my today's video outcomes, one will be able to analyze sources of carbon emission in optical fiber manufacturing industry, understand gate-to-gate life cycle approach for carbon footprint estimation, evaluate the amount of carbon emissions in scope 1, 2 and 3 of GHG protocol using analytical solutions. These are the applicable standards on my video 1, 2 and 3. ISO 14001 is to manage better impact of activities on the environment. This I discussed in my video 1, CO2 emissions by life phase of a digital device. Then R2 standard, which I discussed, is used for electronics repair and recycling. This I discussed in my video 2 regarding responsible recycling of used electronics. Then ISO 14064 part 1, 2 and 3 International Greenhouse Gas Accounting and Verification Standards. In my video present one which I am going to discuss, I shall be discussing, and using this protocol we shall be evaluating the total carbon footprint of the industry. So here is the case study on evaluation of carbon footprint in OFS fiber optics industry. Let's quickly go through what is carbon footprint. A carbon footprint according to ISO TS 14067 is the sum of GHG emissions and removals in a product system expressed as CO2 equivalents and based on the life cycle assessment using the single impact category of a climate change. Why carbon footprinting is so important? The main strength of carbon footprinting is to make product manufacturers aware of carbon emissions and understand its meaning due to perceived global warming effects. Carbon footprint through life cycle assessment in conjunction with greenhouse gas accounting is essential for identifying opportunities for environmental efficiencies. Why I chose optical fiber manufacturing only? From making ultra pure glass rods to elongating hot fibers, the whole process involves a high volume of chemicals and extensive energy. Hence, standard numbers addressing carbon footprinting specifically for fiber optics is helpful for the quantification of greenhouse gas intensity, mitigation of global warming, and adaptation against future climate change scenarios. We shall be using a life cycle approach here. The analysis in this case study uses gate-to-gate life cycle approach, which includes all burnt fuels, all voluntary emissions from scrubbers, all spills, all purchased electricity, major raw materials, third-party product emissions. Now let's understand cradle to grave life cycle of an optical fiber. It starts with the raw materials extraction, materials processing, fiber production, use phase, and then end of life. And to mark here is the transport factor which goes along with all the steps. Let's have a brief overlook on the protocol GHG. The GHG protocol lists all analytical solutions to calculate the amount of carbon emissions in following three sections. Scope 1 caters to direct emissions, emissions from operations that are owned and controlled by the company. Scope 2 is indirect emissions, that is emissions from generations of purchased and acquired energy such as electricity, steam, heating or cooling consumed by the company. Scope 3 is other indirect emissions. These are emissions related to downstream transportation and distribution of product. Scope 1 computations. Now let's come to actually how we are going to calculate. Let's check the formula and equation first. The OFS operates three natural gas boilers for dehumidifying and filtering the humid air. Burning this natural gas releases three greenhouse gases, that is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide. To calculate the amount of CO2 equivalent emissions, equation 1 as given below is applied. So carbon CO2 equivalent from combusting natural gas per year is equal to volume of combusted natural gas per year multiplied by higher heating value of the natural gas multiplied by the default emission factor of CO2 global warming potential plus default EF value of CH4 multiplied by GWP of CH4 plus default emission factor of N2O and GWP of N2O. All of the constants used in these equations can be found in 40CFR98, which is mandatory greenhouse gas reporting in tables A1, C1 and C2. This is a standard document which is available. So scope 1 computations will continue. The OFS also uses the distillate fuel oil as emergency fuel to power both the emergency generators and boilers. Fuel also emits the three gases. So equation 1 applies to finding the emission rate for the fuel oil as well. The constant just needs to be changed to reflect that fuel oil is being burned rather than a natural gas. The manufacturing process in OFS also uses scrubbers to filter the emission of all the different machines at OFS and take out about 70 to 99% of harmful chemicals, then expel the residual into the atmosphere. As a consequence, tetrafluoromethane, that is popularly known as TFM, is scrubbed. A mass balance of 1 mole of CO2 equivalent emitted per mole of TFM used in scrubbing process multiplied by the efficiency of the scrubber, which in this case is 80%. That is how we calculate. Scope 1 computations will continue. The OFS has three general fugitive emissions, that is general volatile organic carbons, isopropyl alcohol and refrigerants from the AC units. To calculate the carbon emissions from the general VOCs and IPA, their present percentage is recorded and then multiplied by 3 and 3, 1.5 respectively as per standard norms. The refrigerant uses R13 4A R134A. Therefore, using the amount of refrigerant leaked multiplied by GWP of R134A gives the amount of CO2 leaked. We will make the actual computations in the later slides. Let's see how we are going to cater to the scope 2 computations. Scope 2 emissions in case of OFS consists solely of emissions caused by purchased electricity. Three GHG compounds are emitted: carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide. Equation 2 as given below is used to find the equivalent carbon dioxide emissions for each GHG compound, and those values are added together. That is amount of electricity purchased multiplied by emission factor of a substance multiplied by global warming potential of a substance. Then scope 3 computations. Scope 3 emissions includes emissions from purchased goods and raw material. All of the major raw materials used in the production of a product needs to be identified and then multiplied by the emission factor of the respected raw material. This is computed by using equation 3, that is amount of raw material used in production multiplied by emission factor of the raw material. These are after applying all the numbers and calculations and factors and attributes. This is what we have got as a results. We have compared the results for 2 years, that is 2015 and 2016 in this case study. Fuel close to 5,000, scrubber close to 2,600 to 3,000. Then fugitive emissions, they are 18, 3 and 356 respectively for VOC, acetone and AC units. Total scope 1 emissions comes out to be 5726 and 6196 for 2015 and 16 respectively. Similarly, we have computed scope 2 results. In this case, carbon dioxide, it comes out to be for 2015 around 70 crores, close to 71 crores for 2016. Then close to 30,000 is the CO2 emissions by methane for 2015 as well as 16, whereas in case of nitrous oxide it is around 32 lakhs. In both the cases, 32 lakh something in case of 2015 and 32,090 32 lakh 95,000 in case of 2016. The total emissions from scope 2, they are close to 7 crore for 2015 as well as 2016. Now let's come to scope 3 results. That includes aluminium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, sodium hydroxide, and raw materials ABC. Here, raw materials have been named as ABC as the company did not want to reveal that what kind of raw materials they are actually using. This is their privacy policy. So, with the given data, we have computed the emissions as given below. In this, major contributor is sodium hydroxide, which is close to 14 lakhs in 2015 as well as 2016, and total comes out to be around 1.5 crore. Scope 3 emissions, the total for 2015 as well as 16 is close to 1.5 crores. Now we have added all these numbers and what we have got is alarming. That is around 7.25 crores in year 2015. This is in CO2 equivalent emitted in tons. This is amount of CO2 equivalent emitted in tons. It comes close to 7.25 crore in year 2015 and 7.35 crore in 2016. So this is an observation that the boilers and electricity production are major contributor towards the carbon footprints of the plant. Carbon emission mitigation techniques and approaches needs to be applied for a step towards green production and sustainability. Now, this study will not be complete without mentioning about the sustainability. Now, how to measure sustainability? How to track the sustainability? Tracking the below mentioned key performance indicator or KPIs as they are commonly known allows us to measure the sustainability of a system. That is carbon footprint, energy consumption, product recycling rate, saving levels due to conservation and improvement efforts, supplier environmental sustainability index, supply chain miles, water footprint, waste reduction rate, waste recycling rate. However, in this case study, we are unable to proceed with the measurements related to the sustainability due to non-availability of the complete data on the above parameters. The company has not made these parameters available on the public domain as per their policy. So, though these factors are there, we can compute if these factors are the data on these factors is available, but somehow we are not able to make it a part of this study. This is all about this case study as of now. Thank you very much.